Stop that.
Say that again.
I said our podcast might turn into the Knicks podcast if they keep winning the way that they are. I mean, Dom might people. I might convert Dom into a Knicks fan.
No, never.
That's what you're supposed to hit it with the gas, Sands.
Yo, that's disrespectful, bro. Yo,
Never.
Never, Dom.
No.
You might gotta fight this.
My dad is a Knicks fan. So,
See,
your
dad and I are probably going to convert you to a Knicks fan.
Never.
Never. It's only right. Listen, I mean, like you heard LeBron said, the NBA is better when the Knicks are winning.
I mean, that's cool.
LeBron did say
and that's true. That's very true. But no, doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is detrimental.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, this is
Like
detrimental.
literally.
Q, you gotta talk near the mic, bro.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Yo, Wayne,
it's crazy.
you can't
Just
talk
trying
to Dom because then the mic don't pick you up.
Yeah, this is
I
detrimental.
got it.
Yeah, this is detrimental.
But yeah, yo. I don't know.
This is
Never.
detrimental.
I never do that.
Cat forgot what was pod.
The pod.
Cat having a
17
conversation.
championships.
Yo,
How many chips did Knicks had? 2. 17-2. Nah, I'm good. I ain't got no chips.
I gotta be honest. The hat don't even really look. The hat's not even like really that Hall of Fame. I can't even.
Well, I mean, like, you know, because it's the most dad hat, bro. It's the most dad. It's the most dad. I mean, like,
Orange is a hard color to pull off. It is.
well, see, but you know what though? Like, these colors are iconic New York colors, bro. You know what I'm saying? They
That
are.
doesn't mean I gotta respect it. That doesn't mean I have to respect it
I guess.
because I don't.
Yo, Web, can I tell you something? Yo? In Hartford, it's detrimental to wear orange and blue in Hartford. It is.
That's a gang?
No,
It's crazy.
that's just Bloomfield colors. Nobody fuck with Bloomfield. That's really all it is.
Oh, that's the high school? That's the high school's color?
Yeah, you don't wear. That's an ugly color, bro. Like who wear purple?
Bro, we are
orange, bro. I'm good.
we are more than a decade past high school, so
Still
We
don't
are.
wear-
Yo, we're
still don't
old,
wear-
I don't
bro.
respect
I never seen it.
We're old, bro.
I don't know no Knicks fan. I don't know any Knicks fan in Hartford. I'm not gonna lie.
y'all ready to get started?
Let's do it.
I don't like when y'all keep starting on the Knicks. Like you got to.
No. First off, we should always give the Knicks at least 2 minutes of the pod.
We should never give the next 2 minutes of it.
2 minutes.
Let's
I'm
get-
okay with giving them 2 minutes. 2 minutes at the top. It's a bit much. So I hope you expect when they take the major L's that we give them.
I'm probably gonna be MIA when they. I'm probably not gonna be able to be found
Anywho,
because I'm gonna be stressed. I've been talking all this shit.
you should anticipate it. You should anticipate the stress.
Yeah.
Look forward.
Why you had to bring me down? I was happy.
Begin pondering the ways in which you are going to deal with the stress. You know what I mean? Before.
Because they will let me down.
What's it
They
looking
will.
like, people? Wish you a cat. Are you ready?
We didn't play
They
the
will let you
intro.
down. You're letting me down right now.
We didn't play the intro.
I did play the intro.
Oh, I didn't.
Yes, I did. You're too wrapped up in your Knicks hysteria.
I love him. I love him so much.
Patrick Ewing is like 70 years old. It was a long time ago, bruh.
But they're great.
What's it looking like, people? Wish you a Captain Sands, a.k.a. Captain America. Feel me?
Oh.
You see it. You get how I put the pieces?
Yeah.
You have to. If you don't got Disney Plus, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. My fault.
Yo, it's your boy Dami G, aka Mr. Number 3.
Yeah.
It's your boy LD Wade, aka Hugh De La Pod.
Hugh De La Pod.
Yes. Don't dis. You feel it. 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 You feel it.
We're gonna move on.
What's cracking lacking, people? It's your boy. What's cracking lacking, people? It's your boy Web D, aka Wilbur Wiley. We're gonna bring him into the pod. It is that season, folks. And with that, I'm gonna introduce the pod today. You know, I don't have the bars that my compadres have, but I do have the knowledge that will hit you like thunder. And what we're going to do today is hit you with a season 2, episode 8. We got a lot of great things to talk about, from this to that to all types of detrimental things. And what we want to do, man, is always show peace, love, and give you something good to think about, something happy, something good, something fun that you can take throughout the week. And know that with all the craziness we got going on, you got your detrimental boys to carry you along. That last part might have been a little bit of a lot.
I like it.
So, one last thing, man, just a major shout out to everyone who either shared something of our pod, subscribed, liked us on Facebook or Instagram, or even retweeted us, and those who follow us and stay committed to what we're doing. We do this for y'all every week. And so thank you to our family, friends, and all those people who are committed to the Detrimental Podcast.
Absolutely. Shout out to everybody out there who shares, subscribes, likes, follows, the listeners, the viewers, whether it's your first time, you've been with us for a long time. We appreciate the likers, the commenters, the followers, the viewers, the listeners, even the lurkers. Just make sure you like before you swipe, because this is season 2, episode 8, just like Red B said. Started on a real somber note, because we're going to get to some real stuff today. So, it's, the energy will come in its ebbs and flows, roller coaster ride that is the Detrimental Podcast, as we take you through the happenings of the week, starting first with the good old cap recap. The talk of social media
Can I say
is
something,
Mortal
Cap?
Kombat.
Can I say something about your wordplay, Cap? Can we give this man credit for that word? That whole wordplay right there, I was just following. Top notch. Hall of Fame.
Listen,
There you go.
It's bars.
You just had to get it out. You had to get it out for the moment.
like before you swipe.
You know
Don't scroll. You know what I mean? Just double tap before you do us like that. Anywho,
Bars.
Let's go.
He's feeling it.
But so the talk of social media is Mortal Kombat. Came out last Friday, on HBO Max. And it's the talk of social media, a lot of mixed reviews. I would say overall, to kick off the recap, I came in here ready to disrespect it. I did, but I put a little bit more thought to it. I read a lot about what people were saying online, the back and forth, the debates, and it's helped sway me a bit. I'll give it a solid B. I love the action. I love the fatalities. Old girl who got the blade from the top of the dome ski all the way out her, like from the top to the, like it really went out of the back. It was crazy. So I love the fatalities, right?
It was good though.
I love the ending, right? I would definitely say if the ending didn't, spoiler alert. If the ending wasn't how it was, I probably wouldn't have been happy with the movie, because before the ending, I was like, towards the end when I knew it was ending, I was like, damn, I wish there was more characters. There's a lot of characters that they're missing, and I wanted a little more. It's kind of just getting started at the end. So I'm happy that the end alluded to the new movie coming up. Johnny Cage. Is it Johnny Cage? That's what y'all wanted to see. Anybody? Anyway. So I was happy to see that. But there were definitely moments that I was like, they could have did better. Raiden's eyes, his glowing eyes were far from Hall of Fame. Like I have 4K. I have 4K, and I don't know what was going on there.
Cat was unsatisfied. I mean, it was
a new character. I was not around. Metal Body Boy, not around.
I mean,
Metal Body Boy.
The introduction of a new character just means the new game is gonna have more characters like they always do. They just introduce,
and that's fine. But they could have picked somebody else.
But I mean, I liked it. I did because the storyline, because the whole storyline, I really wanted to see more. I wanted to see more of a Sub-Zero versus Scorpion, but they didn't give us. They gave us a little teaser, but I think he'll come back again. But I mean, other than that, I just wanted to ask you a question, Cap, because your boy was in there.
Jax Briggs.
Yes, and the first scene when he went down, right? The first scene when he went down, I was like, damn, bro, on his knees.
Well, we knew that was gonna happen.
I know, I knew it was gonna happen, but I was like, how did Cat feel at that moment? Did he weep?
No, I mean, I knew it was gonna happen. Like I said last week, everybody has their origin story. Everybody found their, whatever they said, their sauce, whatever the Mortal Kombat word for. Everybody found their sauce in their own way.
So did you like your origin story, sir?
I was I was low key mad again, like, because he didn't even get his sauce until the very end. Like, I really thought they was gonna play him with the flimsy metal arms. I really thought that was it. Like, I thought that was just a new way they was showing off muscle. I was kind of mad, but no, I think they did a really good job. I actually wasn't a fan of the story, but I just at the end, like, that's not Mortal Kombat's not about the story. That's not what I'm here for. It's action over everything. So I'm cool. I look forward to the next one where they bring in more characters.
So what is your rating, Cap? Besides,
I give it a B.
Out of 5. Rating out of 5.
Out of 5, 3.7.
No, that's not bad.
Which is a B, right? All right. So other things that happened this week. This wasn't even originally supposed to be on the agenda, but I've been seeing a lot of highlights and slow mos when Usman Nigerian Nightmare KO'd Masvidal. Now I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know anything about UFC. I had no idea who these two people were before last night. I didn't. But when I say Nigerian Nightmare, first of all, he looked like Webb with muscle. He do.
He did.
But Webb's hands don't work like that. Webb's hands do not work like that.
They don't.
We saw that last night. It was too quick. I had to watch it in slow mo. It was too quick.
Yeah,
Did you see the sweat bounce off his head? You see all that sweat? The fight just started. I mean, whoa.
In slow mo when he got there right, and in the slow mo when me and Cap saw it, and I mean the way the sweat just said, it's like his whole face dried up. That's what happened. It had to happen.
Seriously.
It had to happen. Like, there's no way.
Even in slow mo, it was too fast. Like, it was really quick. So,
well, like, how about the
Masvidal is awake? What'd you say?
Well, no. Like, how about the part when, like, like when he wound up, he basically batted down his blocking hand, and once he did that, I think dude was just surprised, and he got clobbered.
Excuse me.
Bow.
It was hard to watch.
Boom, boom.
Shout out to Nigeria.
You're missing one part. The fact when he leaned in, he ducked under his punch.
He did.
Just to clean his claw.
Right. Like, dissecting that in slow motion makes it so unbelievable how fast it actually did happen.
Yeah.
Because it happened so fast. Watching it slow mo, moving the hand, knocking you out, and I'm dipping from the hook you swung. Crazy. In other news, DMX's homecoming was this past weekend. So shout out to DMX. Shout out to the city of New York. They really sent DMX off in a real big way. The whole city showed up. Thousands of people on the streets, including the Rough Riders. They rolled DMX's all-red casket through the city on a monster truck, and they had it at the Barclays. If there was that's I can only hope to attain a percentage of the level of fame that DMX has, to have that many people, a whole city, come together like that for you. Though sad, it was a beautiful thing to see.
I think the last time a rapper got that kind of homecoming, I think it was Biggie, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That would be my guess.
You know what I'm saying? Rolling through Brooklyn.
I would say Nipsey too. But
Nipsey, yeah.
If you talk about in New York,
I'm thinking New York.
If you talk about in New York, Biggie's funeral was like they ran home through Brooklyn. Like, I heard that was the greatest funeral.
It's incredible.
What I remember from my young age.
Very incredible. So one more time, to infinity. Rest in peace to DMX. Prayers to his family. Not the best way to go out as far as the way he died, but a great way to go out as far as the homegoing. So shout out to them.
Shout out to Swizz Beatz eulogy, bro. Because I need my eulogy to be like that. Somebody need to say his words, because that was beautiful, bro. Because if anybody knew X, DMX, Swizz Beatz,
right.
Bro, I got you. I'll drop hella bars for you, Hugh. I got you. Feel me? Hopefully I don't have to do that for another 50 years, though. Feel me? All right. So moving right along, Derek Chauvin found guilty on all charges. That's crazy. I didn't expect that to occur. That was very unexpected. Although the joy was very short-lived, which we'll get to in a bit, it was a momentary breath of fresh air. Just somebody being held accountable, justice being served, however you want to look at it. I'm not going to debate the definitions there, but so that happened. So that was good. Other things that happened. Shock G, best known for his role in Digital Underground, the song The Humpty Dance, as well as features with Tupac, has passed away at 51. Just applause to his career.
Yeah,
Rest in
yo,
peace
I
to
mean,
him. Prayers to his family.
Bruh.
yeah, yo, prayers to his whole family, man. It's sad. I mean, he's one of the
51. That's
hip hop
young.
that are very important.
Yeah, like,
So and very young. So
to
you know,
this,
shout out to him. Shout out to his family. You know, prayers to his family.
right? Because to this day, everybody's still doing the Humpty dance. Don't nobody tell me they can't do it.
Yo,
Except for
it bang
these young
every time
bucks.
it come on.
Right.
They
You
do.
know what I
Everybody
mean?
just feel good every time it drops.
Humpty,
Everybody just start feeling good. Yeah.
Humpty dance is your chance to do the hump.
Right. Throw that on the
So
cookout, bro.
anybody who is only listening right now, I need you to tune into YouTube just for that moment to see Webb's chair Humpty dance. I need y'all to tune into YouTube just to see Webb's chair Humpty dance. So again, recipes of Shock G. It's always unfortunate to lose a life, but it's always a beautiful thing and an even better opportunity to celebrate life and bring in more life. And Dami G, our resident father, Dom, has some great. I'm gonna let you drop the news, Dom. Dami G's got some great news for us, people.
All right. So on April 21st at 5:18 p.m., I had a beautiful baby daughter. Her name is Jordan Gouch. Man, she's everything. You know what I mean? It feels good. I have two older kids, you know, and they enjoy it as well. You know, the diapers and being up and all that. It's cool. It trust me, it's cool. As soon as you get the baby, you know you have to take care of them. All of that stuff goes away. I mean, you do get tired, but it's real. It's real, but it's a great time. You'll enjoy it. So, but yeah.
Father Dom,
Father
extremely
Dom.
happy for you, bruh. I honestly, no jokes. I look forward to the day where I can hit you up for some fatherly advice, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to you.
I got you whenever, bro.
Shout out to all the baby G's.
Yeah.
Dami G got 3 baby G's. Shout out to all of them. Those are bars.
Those are bars.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Always beautiful thing.
So, congratulations to
Yo,
you.
thank
Bruh.
you, fellas. I appreciate that.
Looking forward to meeting young Jordan G. Now, Dami G, I know April 21st was a very happy day for you. However, on April 20th, some other very important people in your life was wilding a little bit. So, like, we're
So
riding
what?
a high right now.
Yes.
We're riding a high right
We
now.
are.
And I don't really want to bring you down so drastically,
I
but there's some
respect it.
very important people in your life that gotta simmer down immediately. I'm gonna let you
Real quick. Tell me you got the violence, yo. Because this is a violent moment.
I don't have the violin. No.
Dude.
Hold on. I can get it for you. Nah, say no more. All good. I haven't edited in a while. It's fine. I can edit this out. And at the same time, I don't have to edit this out. Y'all can watch me scroll through my computer for the sound effects. It's cool.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's
This
I love
is
prequel.
this is gonna be a rough simmer down for me to do.
Before
This is gonna be rough.
Before you speak, I know how sad this is, bro. It's okay.
My heart.
It's all right, bro.
I can't.
They jumped out the gym.
No. Come
Hold
on.
They need to,
It's
Look
loading.
at them.
It's loading.
Wait,
Look
they,
at them.
they just out the gym, bro. Out the
Jumped out the gym. I didn't see a cleanup yet. We're gonna get to it. Hold on. The violin is loading, people. Hold on.
I have not seen
we
the
gonna-
cleanup.
the
I
cleanup
have
was
I didn't see the
trash.
cleanup.
Sorry,
They tried. And
sorry, dummy.
lackluster cleanup.
No.
Jumping the gun here. Come on, violins. Damn.
The violins are even stressed about this one. They're like, hey, he was stressed about this
Real.
one.
Violins is like, do we want to be Violins is like, do we want to be involved with this right now? I don't think we want to be involved.
They don't want to be
What's
attached to
going
anything
on?
right
Yo,
now.
nah, this is so bad, yo. This is so bad.
But you know what, people? In a sense, somebody had to get simmered down.
All right, Dami.
Somebody had to get simmered down.
Ladies and gentlemen, this hurts to talk about, but I have to say it, and it's only right. A team of mine, the Las Vegas Raiders, as soon as the verdict of Derek Chauvin came out, or soon after, they put out a tweet. I can't.
Say it. Wait, hold on. What they say?
I can breathe.
I can breathe. In response to the Derek
In
Chauvin
response to the Derek Chauvin verdict.
beyond me.
That is the most tasteless, classless, bullshit. That hurt to say, but it had to be said because they're so wrong for this, and I felt like it was only right that I had to use my Las Vegas Raiders for my simmer down for this week. So I have a question for you guys and the fans.
You got to hold the people you love accountable, bro.
Right? No,
Yes.
no. I have one question. After
Go ahead.
this is something very strong. So, should I still be a fan?
I mean, you know,
Is it
Yes.
to that?
Yes. You know why
Yes.
I say yes? Because they just fired the dude who was ever part of this Twitter account. That's all it is. It's not the whole organization.
Fired the team. The whole marketing team got
The whole
a job.
marketing team. Yeah, somebody.
They gone.
Whoever agreed to this shit was
They not
wilding.
thrown on the pads. They're not in the on the turn.
Now,
All right.
like,
I mean, no, they're not.
so like Dom, like I think absolutely still be a fan, but I think because I think I would hope their heart was in the right place, right? But the issue that's going on is like companies or organizations are trying to find ways to commercialize and monetize. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. No,
That's exactly what it was. Like I saw somebody a tweet that summed it up perfectly, which has kind of been my outlook on every corporation jumping behind this Black Lives Matter movement as a reactionary, want to be a part of what's going down measure. And the tweet said, the Raiders tweet is what happens when you try to commercialize social justice. Brands want to be the first to put you on to a slogan instead of working with us to create a solution. Stop tweeting and tell me why Cap is still blackballed. Right? Like everybody want to be first, to be cool, to be looked at as somebody who actually cares when it's not genuine. It's very disingenuous, if that's a word. Look it up and let me know if I used it right. But that's exactly what this was. They tried to be first, jump out the gym, thought it was catchy, thought it was cool, and completely missed the mark. So I'm not and it's not the whole Raiders organization, it's the marketing team. The fact that it got through so many people to be approved is an issue. It's always an issue when stuff like this happens. Is like how many, because I work in corporate America too, right? So I know how many layers of approval need to occur for stuff like this to go out to the masses. And the fact that this went through so many people and everybody say, yep, that's cool, that's a problem. So there's an organizational issue, but you're a fan of the players at the end of the day, and you're a fan of the team's history at the end of the day, so you have to still be a fan. But right now, today, this week, this year, they got to simmer down.
But the owner's response to it, he could simmer down too.
What'd he say?
Because he was basically like, he basically was like, well, this is what we're sorry, but we're not gonna post and delete. Basically, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna leave the post up.
So it's still up there.
I believe so.
That's detrimental.
That is detrimental. But Cap, you're right. This genuine.
Simmer down even more.
This genuine is right.
So yeah,
that came from Mark Davis.
Okay, cool.
That came from Mark Davis.
Yeah, the owner.
Gee.
Now,
with that said, bruh, plenty of room on the Tennessee Titans train, bro.
No, it's not. That train.
What is a win? What is a win?
What is a loss?
What is a win?
Dom, you don't.
I know what a loss is. I can tell you about that.
Dom, you can come here, or you can go where he's gonna try to convince you to go. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Dom, you want to be a Patriots fan?
Don't do it. Don't downgrade.
Las Vegas Raiders.
What team should I switch to?
You heard. Yeah, let people out there, listeners, viewers, let Dommy G know what team he should switch to, because the Las Vegas Raiders, you got to throw the whole organization out the window. Y'all heard one of your biggest fans say it, and you know what you got to do.
They're trying to like the Clippers. They ain't gonna get rid of that. Nah, football is different.
I forgot about the Clipper situation.
Remember that one?
So anywho, moving right along, the Las Vegas Raiders were responding to a very pivotal moment in the U.S. And as we mentioned before, Derek Chauvin, yes, he was found guilty. Yes, people were happy. Yeah, the Las Vegas Raiders jumped out the gym, but that celebration was extremely short-lived. And within the same hour, we were once again stricken with bad news about Black people dying at the hands of the police. For that, I will let Web D let you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. So, folks, I mean, in Ohio, there was a altercation over some domestic issue. I'm not even going to go deep into it. It was a domestic issue amongst family. And a young woman named Ma'Khia Bryant was at the center of this confrontation. Yes, there was a knife involved, but it resulted in her being fatally shot by the Ohio police. And so we've all seen it.
Did you say how old she was, Webb?
She was 16.
She's a teenager,
She's
very
a
young.
teenager. I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me, man, I remember being 16 years old and the things that I was thinking about and doing, and the way that I was behaving when my parents did certain things, or they took something from me, or didn't allow me to do something. Yeah, I lashed out. I was angry. I was a 16-year-old kid. But I only say that just to share development of my brain as a 16-year-old person, of who I was and my behavior and whatnot. So I think, like I said, we all know what this looks like. And my question, it's not even a question, it's a rhetorical question. You don't even have to answer it, honestly. But I'd love to have some feedback from you all. Is like, why does it always have to be lethal force? Like, I get it. Police officers are trained to shoot center mass to neutralize the threat. But then I ask, like, how threatening is a 16-year-old girl? Knife or no knife? Not to say that a 16-year-old
No,
girl is not violent. It can be violent. In that moment, you know what I'm saying? It's a child.
yeah. I wouldn't say it's a rhetorical question. It's the question that we've all been trying to find the answer to without any success, because you're right. Why does it always have to be lethal force? There's been plenty of situations, knives involved, entire vehicles involved
Actual
and being used
firearms.
as weapons, actual firearms in the form of machine guns wielded by other teenagers, where they've been either let go, subdued, or arrested non-lethally, and black people don't get that same courtesy. It is like it's a courtesy to why it's not even a courtesy to be like not shot at. Like,
Well,
but
but
it's
it
not a
is a
rhetorical
courtesy.
question.
It is a
That's yeah.
courtesy.
I don't. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like it
It,
shouldn't. I shouldn't have to ask you not to shoot me because you didn't shoot home with the AK. I don't know. It's just it's a difficult question to answer. It's a difficult idea to navigate, which is why I'm struggling with the words, because we continue to see it. We continue to hear people argue against lethal force and continue to hear people point out the facts when it comes to other people of non multicultural backgrounds handlings with the police, and we still get situations like this. It's she did not have to die. No, she shouldn't have had a knife, but that's not the point, because again, the very same day we watched a video of a man in Ohio attack police with his pickup truck.
Pickup truck.
You know what I
And
mean?
it
So it's
drove
just like
off with a police officer hanging off the vehicle.
But
no
this is
shots bumped.
see this goes back to everything they were saying about the training that they do. That is intense training. That every cop is like vetted and does all this before heading out in the field. That's total bullshit at this point now. Because if you think about it, she's a 16-year-old girl. First off, a 16-year-old girl. When that point obvious.
Who called them? She called them.
He called them, right? And that too. But she had a knife, but she's 16. You're a cop within your, like, what, mid 35s? I don't know how old this dude is, but I just know he's an asshole. He's like, you can't subdue a girl with a knife. You
They
at
shouted
that
out Blue Lives Matter after.
right. That's
It's just so unfair that we have to like live so cautiously. Like it should be even all the way around. I mean, we pay taxes like everybody else. Like we're here. We try to follow the rules the best we can, like everybody else. I don't understand. So, but
and she followed the rules. She called the cops. She called for assistance.
right.
There's a lot of details we don't know. I think,
Right.
like, at the end of the day, she didn't need to be shot. I think is the
Yeah,
main
I
main
mean,
point. Yeah, maybe she should have been arrested. Maybe she should have been charged. Maybe all those things should have happened, but she didn't have to die.
well, that's the
Is the
thing, right? Is
main
like I feel like when it comes to this whole policing, it's are like police officers should de-escalate problems. I respect the fact that like officers and police officers and those first responders, they run to the site of danger, right? I get that and I respect that, and honestly, I expect it.
you need to act. You need to act quickly.
You know what I'm saying? You need to
But
act
why
quickly,
is your quick
but
action shooting?
you chose to be a police officer. You chose to be that protector of a community. That doesn't mean that like you see everybody or at least a certain group of people who have a certain hue in their complexion that they are violent and they are dangerous. And that's the part that bothers me, which bothers most of us, all of us, the same. And so it's another young person, another black person, another family, another black family that has to deal with that trauma. So yeah, I mean,
It's just like you said. It's for that reason, Webb, like you said, like the fact that police officers have chosen this line of work. It is for that very reason why the retort for Black Lives Matter can never be Blue Lives Matter, because Black lives had no choice in being Black lives. You chose this lifestyle.
Yeah. Yep.
So that can never be a retort. That's why that's such a stupid slogan.
well,
Yes, they do. I'm not going to disagree that Blue Lives Matter, but as a response to
oh
Black
yeah,
Lives Matter,
oh for
it
sure.
doesn't make sense. That's all I'm saying. Yes, of course, all in the real world, yes, all people's lives do matter, but as a response to Black Lives Matter, it does not equate.
But see, but the thing is, though, is like I think
Right?
all those wannabe responses, all lives matter, blue lives matter, all that is honestly is just the fact that
This is
people,
ignorant.
um, and I hate to say this, it's some white people have a hard time understanding that I am not saying that my life matters more than yours, but what I am saying
Right.
is that I deserve to live. I deserve the benefit of the doubt that I am not that I am not dangerous, that I am not violent, that I am not here with any ill will or intent. So don't try to kill me. Don't try to ruin my life because I wouldn't do that to you.
Try to end my life.
Don't try to end my life. You know what I'm saying? And so like, and just recognize that like when my black ass goes out places, I always have to think about that. You know what I'm saying? I always have to think about, okay, I live in this town of Waterford. It's a good town. Yeah, it's Connecticut, whatever it is. But like, should I be always on edge about watching my surroundings the way that I have to? Do you have to do that? Ask yourself that question. If you're a white person,
No. And also, you have to do that because you're in a foreign land, bro. You got nothing but trees around you. Don't know that person.
I live in the woods.
Sorry. You do. You do. I don't be in the woods. Listen, I watch
I mean, but so that's what it is. I mean, but not to, because y'all know I could get on my soapbox and lecture the hell out of y'all. But like, I just hope. I mean, I don't know. I'm losing hope,
You live on a
guys. I'm losing hope, guys.
Canada.
and I don't blame you, bro.
I don't
I'm
blame
sorry.
you.
I've
I'm
already
very sorry, and I'm very.
you
I
called
try
me
to be
cynical.
optimistic.
You called me cynical when I was in the same boat. But no, I feel you, bro. It's like
So
what gives?
what gives, and that's
Hashtag
why
what gives.
don't celebrate because Derek. Like I think people we need to say this because it's been said several times. Don't celebrate to something that is supposed to happen. Derek Chauvin committed
Should have
murder.
happened. Right.
He committed murder. He's supposed to be tried and convicted and go to jail. That's what's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody.
That's it.
Now I want to get off. I want to get off this. Yeah, I want to get off this. I want to move on. But it's interesting that you mentioned like don't celebrate Derek Chauvin being found guilty because that was supposed to happen. Because I remember like having to explain to my wife. Like I couldn't celebrate before I even knew about Ma'Khia Bryant. Like the guilty verdict came out, me and Webb was playing video games, and when I tell you our response was pretty lackluster, it was we didn't
Yeah.
really respond with excitement. Like we were both on,
Was it like,
but it's like we
yay?
didn't believe it. But it was almost like, what are we celebrating? Because he is still gone, and now it's supposed to happen. And what about all the other times where the police officer hasn't been found guilty? Like, this is cool. We got 1 out of a million.
Right.
I wasn't happy. I was more so
Right.
like, I wasn't happy. I was like at a loss. That's like all these thoughts came into my mind at that time. I was like, I should be happy. I should be able to celebrate. I want to post in celebration. But the only thing I could think of was like, yeah, this is cool, but it's not over.
But you can't celebrate.
It's a
And then
farce.
20 minutes later,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
20 minutes later, Ma'Khia Bryant happened.
or Mariana Taylor, or that next person, or could be this person, right? You never know. That's why you can't celebrate, because
People think we won.
Right, we didn't.
Like,
we
no,
won.
he
We
won
won.
shit.
That's
We
one
didn't.
out of like. That's one out of like
hell
how
no,
many
wait.
how many
No,
how many
no,
how many
no,
L's
dog.
we done. Not I'm trying to say it's L's, but like how many times these cops walked away from everything that they done. It's too many times.
We've taken too many
Yeah, I was
losses.
about to say.
I don't want to. I don't want to say
losses.
like I know, but I don't want to
Wait.
say like that, because that's even worse. It's just even worse to just think about it like that, because they were losing like that, but we're still losing in so many ways with like our people over senselessness and stupidness.
I just worry about, honestly, man, I worry about the kids. I worry that this shit is just getting too normal for kids.
Normal.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just worried, like, that is just not even too, that it's just becoming a normal thing that black people get murdered by the police and the police aren't found. Like, it's just what happens, right? So let's move on. But, like, you know, yeah, all the blessings and prayer to the families, because I have nothing. I have nothing else but prayer and blessings and protest.
Yeah.
So
I hear you, bro. It's, we didn't want to get into the podcast and have too much fun. There's just too much important things going on in the world. As much as our focus is always on fun, we want to have fun. It's the situations like this that kind of prevent it from happening when we want it to happen. And, considering that we've chosen to take on a platform that reports current events, we have to be responsible and address the tough issues. So we're gonna try to bring things back up. But people out there, especially people of color, stay safe. Hold on to the people you love. Tell them you love them, because any day could be a situation that you didn't think you could possibly be in. With that being said, we're gonna hit the timeline. Maybe there's some positive news in the timeline. We've been skipping over the timeline. We haven't had time, so let's hit the timeline and see if there's some positive news we could speak of. While this first thing of the timeline may not seem like positive news at first, it's an amazing thing. And I'm talking specifically about Hester Ford. Hester Ford recently passed away, which is sad news, but Hester Ford was the oldest known person in the U.S., and she passed away at 116 years old, and she was a black woman. So just applause to the life of Hester Ford. What a life she's she's seen so many things.
Imagine the stories that she has, bro. Because if you live for that long, you have some stories. You've seen a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of good, a lot of bad, especially.
A lot of good, a lot of bad, but
went through a lot.
But my grandparents always tell me stories, but you always got to find the silver lining in those stories, bro. That's what it is. That's how.
Shout out to Soul Food. It works.
Yeah, man. I mean,
it works.
Hester Ford, bro, like, she was born in 1905, right? She's lived through 2 world wars. I don't even want to guess how many presidents she's lived through.
The Great Depression,
right?
Civil rights.
Multiple, Korea, Vietnam, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Multiple wars.
Civil rights, the first black president.
Women being able to vote.
Women being
Yep.
I mean, bro, I mean,
you got to see all the Marvel movies. You got to see all the Marvel movies.
Bro, it's crazy. But you know what's crazy?
She seen Mickey Mouse when he was black and white.
Yeah, but think about it. She was around for the Jackson 5, Prince, Earth, Wind and Fire. She's like around for the beginning of every.
Bro, when Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, bro.
right? Like
I
Yeah.
would, we joke, but I would definitely like to know more about the lifestyle she lived. I always like to know more about the lifestyle of people who lived that long. Because I've seen a lot of videos of like a dude who was lived to be past 100 and he drank whiskey and smoked a cigar every day, kind of stuff. So I've seen a lot of it always boils down to like stress management, honestly, which is kind of the hardest thing to manage. But I'd be interested to find out more about how she lived because I want to do the same. I want to be
Yo,
116.
I
here's
remember
the
when
fun question.
I do.
Go ahead, Wayne.
I was saying, I remember when I was in school, my teacher had us ask this one question to like grandparents, like, "Where was you at when this like historical event happened?" Like that would be like one of those questions you ask her, like, "Where was you at during things like that?" Like I'll be asking Webb all the time, and he never gives me the answer. Like, "Yo, Webb, where was you at?"
Oh. Yo,
Boat was made out.
how much? Like, I bet you this is not even a question. It's just a statement. I bet you Hester Ford probably had the best baked mac and cheese recipe.
Probably Hall
Can
of
you
Fame.
imagine the Hall of Fame mac and cheese recipe from
The
1920?
original
And
recipe, bro. The original recipe,
I don't know.
probably.
Hall of Fame peach
So
cobbler too.
peach cobbler is my favorite dessert. It is with some Cool Whip goes
Wow, I
down.
don't know.
But so now,
This is a little out of hand. I don't know. What is this? It's so
Listen,
what do you mean?
yo, 116. You gotta
racist.
celebrate
No,
her
I'm
in the
joking.
way
I'm just
that
joking.
you want somebody to celebrate her,
I'm
yo.
just joking.
Because she probably like, yes, she probably down in heaven talking about, yes, you're right. I have the best peach cobbler around. Can't nobody touch me. I know it. Like, yo, right? Live your 116,
So
bro.
Nah, absolutely.
we celebrate the life of Hester Ford. We send our condolences to her family. Who knows how large her family is, but shout out to Hester Ford being the oldest living person in the U.S. and happened to be a black woman. But with that said, I would also like to know who knew. Now, our last who won the last who knew? I never remember.
I think it was dumb.
I'm pretty sure though. Just because we know who he is.
Just because we know.
Mr. 27-3, blah blah blah.
He sounds upset, Dom.
Mr. Mad.
AKA I'm Mr. Mad.
Mr. Buckets, Mr.
Actually, no. It was Webb because Tom Hanks it was a Tom Hanks.
Yeah, it was a proximity.
Oh yes, you're right.
Proximity.
Still a little mad,
Listen, Dom, you know what that means? It just means that while he's hating, he has a lot of respect on your name.
I know. My guy.
He has a lot of respect.
Whatever.
All right, so I want to know who knew. So yes, Hester Ford, she was the oldest person in the U.S., but I want to know how old is the oldest living person in the world? She was the oldest living person in the U.S., but how old is the current oldest living person in the world? Webster D, how old are they? Bonus points if you can give me where they're from too.
119, and I think they are from 119, and I would say somewhere in
It'd be detrimental if you say country. We're gonna move on. It'd be detrimental if you say the country.
Well, no, I'm not gonna say the country. I mean, I'd say 119 and maybe in the Middle East.
But that's funny.
Okay, Tommy G, how old is the oldest current living person, reported living person right now?
Mediterranean, Middle East.
Oh, I would say a buck 34.
A buck 34. I only wish. Hugh, how old?
I would say 117.
Okay, now here is the first who knew in which two people are one away. However, one person is over and the other is under. So I got to give it to the under, which is Hugh. Who knew the oldest current living person is a person named Kane Tanaka from Japan, and she is 118 years old. Who knew? So Webb was over and Hugh got it. But this is a double who knew. So one more time, I want to know who knew.
I'm gonna go last this time. I always go first and second.
The winner, the winner should always go last, but
so that's just no, because the only reason why I don't let the winner go last is because the person who goes last can kind of like decide where they want to fit between the other two answers. That's why, to make it competitive and shuffle the winners, the winner goes first. So Hugh, yes, the oldest current living person is 118, but how old is the oldest living person of all time? How old was the person who's lived the longest out of everybody ever in history? How old was that person? They've since passed away, but how old was the oldest living person of all time, Hugh?
Damn, I was about to say Webb. I was about to say he's still living. But all right, one.
Took me a second.
He's lashing out. He's lashing out, man. Like, I don't even know.
Bro,
Took me a second.
It's a good age. Yo, listen, if we had everybody else on this pod, this is a good age joke for you. All
This is true.
I would say 123.
123. Webster. How old is the oldest person of all time? How old was the oldest person of all time?
I'm sticking with 119.
What'd you say, Hugh?
123.
123. Dami G.
I would say the oldest person is. I'm gonna stick to 130.
Yeah.
130. Now, so this is something I've never considered before, but I want to be fair. Like, are we just in the sense of mathematics, right? When you are over, or just in the sense of in a wheel of what's up? The Price is Right. When you guess over, then you're out, right? No matter how close you
Yeah.
are to the actual number,
You always
right? So
give
if
it
you're
the
over,
under.
if you're over, then you're out,
Yeah, you always give it the under.
right?
You give it the under.
I don't know if I've ever been scoring. I don't know if I've always been scoring like that. I apologize if I haven't been. But based on those rules, while Webb might be closer, he's over, and the oldest person of all time was 122 years old. Who knew? So Webb was only one away, but he was over. And he was, I don't know.
Closer.
Either way,
I was closer.
you learned something. That's it for me. I'm the most, Captain Trebek. And right back to the timeline.
Captain Burton.
What'd you say?
Captain Burton.
Trebek flows off.
LeVar Burton.
Oh, Captain Burton. I'll take it, but he's not the host yet. So, but I'll still take it because he's Hall of Fame. Anyways, back to the timeline. That was a quick who knew pause. Caitlyn Jenner announces her bid for California. Is it governor?
Governor.
Right there, right?
Yep.
California governor. Okay. Now, anybody have a comment on that post, or should we keep scrolling?
Bro,
I mean,
it's not deal. I'm in Connecticut. People have nothing to do with me. So I no disrespect at all. But just
Webb.
I mean, honestly, I think the only part that's interesting is just because Caitlyn Jenner early on was like a supporter of Trump, and just like most Republicans who are at that high level who want to run for office are gambling and saying either we're going to be on the Trump side or the not Trump side, and Caitlyn Jenner is just another one of those celebrities who will probably have a fair shot at winning the governor's race in California. And I don't know. I think it's just interesting to see like
it's interesting.
I mean,
Celebrities in politics.
the celebrities in politics.
Arnold got it.
Arnold did got it.
He did. I don't know how well a job he did. Dami G, you have a comment?
He's around for a while. So
No, I mean just good luck.
Yeah, go keep.
Well, I'm not sending him good luck. Fuck that.
Her sending her good luck. But we'll move on. In other news on the timeline, I scrolled past something that was pretty interesting. An Italian man collected paychecks from his job for over 15 years, but he ain't been to work. He has not been to work for 15 years, but he's been collecting checks for over 15 years. He's racked up over $600,000. He's been at home chilling, gambling.
Yo, but can I just say, what was home doing? What was he doing? What would you? Can I ask you guys a question?
Wait, before that, Cap, applaud that man, please. You need to applaud that man.
True.
I'm about to say he's Hall of Fame, man.
But here's the question for y'all, Dom. What you doing for 15 years? You ain't got to go to work, but you getting paid.
Yo, I don't know. I don't know.
What are you? I mean, yo, you could do anything, bro.
I
for
know.
15 years.
So I don't know.
Wayne, what you doing?
I mean?
Traveling. I'm traveling.
What you doing?
I'm traveling.
True.
I'm just trying to figure out what I'm trying to figure out right now because his retirement plan was like Hall of Fame, bro. Like that was it. That was the earliest retirement plan I've ever seen in my life. Like,
well, he's about to get locked up, so you know.
Yo, that's the thing. Locked up.
Yo, but, all right, see, I don't understand it. I'm trying to understand how you locking him up you should fire the supervisor because home not checking the pay. Home not checking
Yeah.
anything.
Check-
They just
It's
check-
like you ain't realized that home ain't like
15 years.
you ain't seen them in 15. How big is the staff?
right? No,
Hey.
no work
Like,
parties. You know
HR
what I
is
mean?
fired.
Right?
Well, no, but you know, no.
He ain't been in no meetings. Nobody taking attendance. He ain't voted in none of the minutes.
None
Nothing.
of them. None of them.
What's going on here, yo?
Cat
What kind of
desk
establishment?
collecting mad dust.
His name ain't on no minutes. That's
Right.
crazy.
What kind of
His name's not on
establishment
the
y'all got?
desk. He just
Somebody else got
All
his
right.
desk.
Last thing on scroll before we get to sports. We run out of time.
Don't forget
Uh,
my birthday cards. Just send it.
Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, it's been determined that the government of Los Angeles needs to offer housing to all the homeless people on Skid Row by the fall, which is pretty interesting to hear about. Apparently, in Los Angeles, last year there were 66,000 homeless people in Los Angeles, and since COVID, in this year, it's increased by almost 13%. So that's wild and crazy. So the mayor has allocated $1 billion to fight homelessness, and by the fall, they're gonna have all these people housed up. Any comments on that?
I mean,
Un-
that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, but it has to happen. But that's awesome if it does. So shout out to them if they make that happen.
It's kind of sad that they went through this, bro. It's understandable too, because you know LA is like a really booming place, and the cost out there to live is like take my arm, take my leg, bro. So for it to increase to 13%, and now they're trying to figure this out, bro. Like I applaud them for trying to come up with a strategy, though. I do.
Yeah,
Me too.
nah.
Homelessness is always. Go ahead, Webb.
Nah, I think that my piece is like that's great, and shouts out to them, but housing isn't the only issue, right? Like I can give you somewhere to live, but how you gonna feed yourself? You know what I'm saying? All those other, all those
Start.
other.
It's a start.
So
I'm
it's
sure
a
other
start,
programs
but
will come with
I'm
it.
hoping that they got some other things in line.
Because remember, this is only one place. One place.
Yeah.
Yeah, homelessness in major cities has always bothered me. Like I've been to some beautiful places that are plagued by homelessness, and it's just like people turn a blind eye to it. Like just yesterday, I was in Cambridge, right outside of Harvard's gates, and when I tell you there's so many homeless people right outside of Harvard's gates, a place that has so many brilliant minds that can't think of a solution to help homeless people, it bothers the hell out of me. So I'm happy that somebody's doing something about it, but homelessness has always bothered me and scared me because it can happen so easily, especially last year. So I'm not surprised to hear that it's increased 13%.
Right.
So I just hope, I hope it's a solution that actually helps and not inhibits or inhibit.
One thing that just bothers me that DC they have the worst, and for that to be the capital and they have nothing, they haven't solved that problem. That just bothers me a lot too. I understand where you coming from, Cap.
So that's the timeline. Let's get to Hugh. It's on you, bruh.
Pull up my notes and everything. I've been scrolling through the timelines. Hello, people. How you doing? It's your boy Hugh L. Jones alongside my guy Dami G and the other Detrimental Boys.
Yep.
In the balconies watching me as I perform. Hall of Fame bars when I can. But it's been a rough week for Dami G, I guess. I don't know how to say it. Cause first his beloved former, probably, I don't know. We'll later on pod we'll figure that out. Raiders is out here, wilding. And now, the king himself has been sitting on the bench. I'm sorry about that too. Your Lakers has slipped from what? 2 to 4? 5, I believe at this point. 5. Hate to see it, because only reason I hate to see it because if you put the Lakers anywhere low with LeBron, it's just a walk in the park. So I can't really say anything bad about that. But his comments though about what's going on in the world and the conviction of the police officer who killed George Floyd. Forgot the man's name. Don't really care about the man's name. He's doing time. That's his problem. I've been trying to find it, but I just can't really find it. I found a couple things. He just seems angry about stuff. I don't know how anybody else feels. Webb, you said you was looking more into it. I couldn't really find anything. Did you find anything?
You talking about LeBron's tweet?
Yeah, his tweet. I couldn't find really. I was trying to find
The tweet was the issue was upon the Micaiah Bryant killing.
Oh my
He
bad.
posted a picture of the officer and said, "You're next."
That's my,
Yeah.
Correct?
see. That's why I
Okay.
couldn't.
That's what happened.
That's why I couldn't find it. I've been trying to find it because they said their man LeBron James did, the most post and delete.
Which was the most responsible thing to do?
Is it for you? I understand it's responsible, but should he have done it in the first place?
Well, no. I mean, like that was the responsible response to what he did. You know what I'm saying? Along with an apology. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think,
Wow.
Yeah.
because because I think part of it is like, one, I think he gets a lot of flack because people, he was the one that people were saying the Laura Ingram person was like, shut up and dribble, right? And so I think, not to say that knowing that you're going to get that kind of that kind of coverage, you should do your due diligence and make sure you know what the hell you're talking about before you put your opinion out there, because you are LeBron James. You are probably the most famous athlete in the United States to date.
No, in the
Like,
world, he's the most.
I mean, one of the most in the world. One of in the world.
One of them soccer cats always got the world.
Always,
Right.
Oh yeah,
like, I'm
yeah,
saying, in the
yeah.
United States, this is LeBron James. This is LeBron James's world. You got to be more responsible with that. But I mean, he's right. His context should have, because I'm trying to assume and read into it. His context was, you're next to go through the justice process, and we'll
Yeah,
see how that
in
works.
context of what
And
just
kind of what he
happened.
was saying, right?
Right.
We can understand that, but
Right.
you got the people on the other side are like, got him, and that's what happened. He put himself on a got him kind of situation.
Listen,
He,
so-
oh,
no,
no,
go
no,
ahead.
no, no,
No, finish your comment. Finish your comment. Go ahead.
no. He's my guy, but he was just wrong, man. And wow. I mean, I don't think he should have done that. I understand what he was doing, but I don't think he should have done that.
It's
I
just,
think he should use his platform a little more responsibly. I think, in my opinion.
Right. That's right. So I don't disagree with that. I don't want to say he's wrong completely. I think it's important that he speaks out because of how influential he is, just like Webb said.
Absolutely.
But when you hold so much power, it's important that you do not intentionally or unintentionally, again, do your due
Do harm.
diligence to not to not cause panic, pain, violence, or do any type of harm. And we're in a day and age again where people kind of want to be first, and LeBron James he's unfortunately sometimes he still kind of falls in that bucket of people who want to jump out the gym and be first and be seen as somebody who really really cares. We know he does, but he doesn't always have to be like he's very vocal, but sometimes he is irresponsibly vocal, I think, and sometimes um it's very genuine. I always appreciate the fact that it's a genuine response from him. Like, that's him and not like a PR response to things. Like, I do appreciate that. Like, I do appreciate his realness, but he just needs to.
Yeah.
I don't think that tweet was wrong. I just think in general, because and just I'm talking about all of I'm not a fan of LeBron James on social media. I'm saying in general, I think he needs to realize that everything he says and does, no matter how heavy or light, people are going to
public eye.
dissect.
He's in the public eye.
Yeah, but
So as genuine as he wants to be, it's almost hard to do so.
But I think in a world where everything is perception, I think that's why the tweet was wrong to me, because I understand, but in the world of perception, like, that just looks wrong on so many levels. You know what I mean? And so
Definitely don't want to incite violence.
right, and that's the thing, and it looks like that, and that's why people say, just like Webb said, people say got him. So,
but somebody's got to say something, because the NBA support for Black Lives only lasted 1 year.
Yeah, because
So
LeBron is. They want LeBron. LeBron is. Nobody wants LeBron. LeBron is that figure to speak up and do that thing. Because remember, basketball in our day and age, and anybody's day and age, sports. You had Jim Brown. You had Bill Russell. You have players like that, but they didn't have the platform that we have now. So, like you said, he has to be accountable, but at the same time, he's got to watch what he says.
Yeah,
I want to talk about exactly. I want to talk about LeBron, but the NBA thing too. Like
Yeah,
We said this when
No,
NBA was. Did
I,
we or did we not say this? At least I did. When
I
NBA was
said
pandering, black lives on the court, names on the back of the jerseys. All right, cool. But what happens next season? It's all gone now. Everything's hunky dory now. Where y'all at? Where y'all
Well,
at?
you
yo, I
know,
told
I mean,
yo, I told you should have never had played not one single game until things was figured out. That's what I said from the very beginning. But guess what? Now look, now I see Ciroc on the side of the Brooklyn Nets thing. Like, come on, like what's going on?
I mean,
What happened to
It's
Black Lives?
good, but
that's
Oh, I'm
that's
not
what
mad at
I
it.
mean that's
But
what
what
the
I'm
bullshit and
saying,
stuff.
I'm mad at it. But
I
but
get no,
just
I
like Cap
understand what you're
said,
saying. I
it's
understand,
like, yo, come
but you
on,
know,
man,
again, that
like
that's another conversation for
fell
another
off.
pod.
Like, nah, those same black
That's
dudes
it
playing
is.
in
My
the
bad.
that's
NBA.
another
I
conversation
jumped out
for
the gym.
another pod because
I
it's
jumped out the gym like LeBron. My
yeah.
bad. I jumped out the
No,
gym
no,
like
no,
LeBron.
no, no, I'm
My
trying to
bad,
settle
my
y'all
bad.
down, but you know, if y'all want to, let
but
me
LD though,
do
but
that for my
LD,
show. God damn it,
but
God damn it.
LD, but like the thing
Bro, I'm
is,
trying to move on, but
hold on, just hold on, just
your last statement. No,
but like
I'm sorry.
at the end of the day, players like LeBron James at his level, you're more than just a 2 or 3 word tweet, bro. Like if you're gonna say something, put out a press release statement and put the, and you know what I'm saying, you're bigger and you're better than that, bro. Just do that. That's it, and that's what it comes down to.
Hey, I understand what you're saying, but in this day and age, social media is the way for these athletes to express themselves. It's been all over the way. Everything that happens, you see every athlete express themselves through social
Yeah,
media. And I
your
think
boy.
what I would say for them is get a PR and don't get the one that the Raiders have because that just ain't But on to some other news. Just the NFL released yet. Let's see. The NFL has released a new rule or yes, a new rule that states that they're relaxing the numbers on the jerseys, and a lot of players are not happy about this.
Not
I.e.,
a lot, just one.
I know. Let me get to that, Cap. I mean a lot because
Oh,
when the player meet, he's the only. Apparently, he's the goat. He's the only player that really matters in the NFL at this point because he has 7 rings and nobody can talk to him any type of way. But he feels some type of way about this number change. I have his comments and I was reading it and I can honestly say, cat salty. Let me fire off one comment that he said. Good luck trying to
who you
block
talking about?
Tom Brady.
Oh, okay. Some people may not acknowledge him as a GOAT, so I just had to make sure we were
I
clear.
mean,
Oh,
yes,
first off, everybody
Cap does not
acknowledges
acknowledge him as a goat.
I didn't say no.
You know.
I do. We'll
Okay,
get to me. We'll get to
all
me.
right.
Go
Well,
ahead, you. My
let me
bad.
get to the comments. Let me get to the comments.
I'm bucking shots.
Good
Just
luck.
get ready.
Good luck trying to block the right people. Now, you're gonna make you're going to make for a lot of bad football. So I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Why is he so upset about this? Like, how's it gonna make
Bro,
for bad football? It's a number change.
can I can I
He
can I
had
say something?
he has one more comment. The last comment? This is
Go ahead.
why not let the linemen wear whatever they want? 2. Why not? Why have numbers? Just have colored jerseys. Why not wear the same number? Dumb. Oh, Brady.
Can I say something?
Yes, Cap. Now I'll let you.
My main problem with this is for the lot it relates to a lot of what you just said. He's the GOAT. Everybody knows he's a GOAT. What he says matters. And it goes back to just being intentional with what you say and realizing this like just the place you hold in society. And it's just I don't like the way he went about that. Like it's almost bratty the way he's acting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're the GOAT, bruh. Like, and all you're saying is, "Oh, that's dumb." I just imagine though that SpongeBob meme. That's dumb. Oh, why not wear colored jersey? Like that's like, come on, bruh. Like you could be a little more eloquent than that, GOAT. To just be like, that's dumb. Like that's very I just don't. I don't know. I really don't like that. Yes, I know. Yes, he's the GOAT. I acknowledge he's the GOAT. I'm not a fan of his, but he is the GOAT. He's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen of all time. I will give him that. I just don't like Tom Brady the person, and he
Yeah.
continues to show me. He continues to show me who he is, and he's an asshole. And I don't like assholes who are good and still be assholes.
Yeah.
Like you're not doing the right thing with your
Yeah.
a claim, and I don't like that. I just don't like the response to that. And my response to the NFL rule and why I think Tom Brady is being dumb. College sports people wear whatever number they want to, and it's fine. He's like, oh, he said, good luck trying to block the right people. You sound shooketh, Tom. You sound shook. You
Because he
sound
is.
shook.
He is.
Oh,
Like it's going to be okay. You sound shook. Put down whatever goon. He might still be drunk from the boat parade because he's
He might
wilding. I didn't like that response at all.
cat.
He's
Ooh,
got to simmer
ooh,
down.
cat,
My bad.
ooh,
I'm
cat,
off my
cat, ooh, cat,
soapbox.
cat. Whoa, cat. Ooh. He's on the soap. He's been standing on the soapbox and he has not got off, and I respect it. I do. But wait, before I get into your fatal comments. No, not fatal comments. I mean, sad comments. Sorry. Dom, you got anything to say about this whole situation after looking at his his tweets and comments?
No, this shit is dumb. They can wear whatever they want. Don't be scared, Tom Brady.
Because this is your former quarterback. He's still your quarterback.
I mean,
right?
TB12, greatest of all time. But I tell you this though, man, and like he, the time he spent with the Patriots and the Patriots way or just whatever the secrecy of being in the Patriots organization
Had the muzzle on him.
had the muzzle on him, and now he can go out here and be, like Cap said, he's bratty. It's just it's like a little kid having a tantrum. Like, oh no, you took away what I'm most used to. What helps me be great. Right now, I have to change and adjust, like everybody else freaking has to every year. Bro. Listen, I don't know. I mean, listen, Tom Brady's a great quarterback. He's not the greatest talent. He doesn't have the greatest talent. Most successful, most accomplished. But you look about somebody like Aaron Rodgers, he's not fucking complaining about the numbers. Aaron Rodgers not complaining.
Because he's out here regardless.
He out here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay,
so
well, one thing I will say is that Tom Brady, I think he earned his brattiness, though. I have 7 championships. I could say and do what the fuck I want. That's how I feel. So
I would say
he's wrong and he's shook. But I think he earned his brattiness. That's 7 titles.
Absolutely earned it. Absolutely.
But I don't have to respect it, and I don't.
I respect that you don't respect it.
But to me, there's still an extent, and then there's like, bruh, now you're just bitching. Like, at this point, how's it making for bad football? I don't understand how it's making for bad football. Like, I get it. They always say throw the ball to the number. Okay, so throw the ball to the number. The number's gonna be different. So what?
He's acting like a bitch.
So
he's talking about blocking assignments and whatnot, and it's like,
no, it doesn't change. It doesn't change. Nothing changes in my eyes. Jordan. There's a tons of NBA players that wear different numbers. Is that stopping them? There's tons of soccer players that change different numbers. Is that stopping anything? The sport.
Bruh, I'm wearing a number 1. I'm wearing the number 1 jersey, no matter what position I play, because I'm number 1.
I'm learning something.
Well, I mean, like, in his defense, if somebody's, I get it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, a person like Tom Brady goes from New England to Tampa Bay, and Bruce Arians is like, Tom, what do you want to run? Tom's like, I'm really good at these kinds of plays, and I can run these kinds of audibles, and I can these blocking assignments. And so Bruce Arians is like, okay, cool, we'll do that. So when he goes down to like a person, like a player like that, like a Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, you're not infusing them into some new offense. You're asking them, what do you want to do that you've done in the past? So of course I get it, but yeah, he can stop bitching. He's a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Hear ye. Thomas Brady. That's it.
Web, you kind of lost me there for a second, but you know what? I understand, because if what is coach name again? You just said I can't remember. Bruce Arians should have told him to put the phone down. That's what Bruce Arians should have did. All right. First off, after today's segment in sports, I realized something. These athletes all around and organizations all around need better publicists. Need to put Twitter down for a week. Twitter, lock these people out. Twitter, please do it ASAP, just like you did President Trump, because this is beyond me. The Twitter fingers amongst these people, amongst the sports world, is wilding. Not to mention Kevin Durant, but we already went through that one. But to close out, a little sad news in sports. a young man in Kentucky basketball, Terrence Clark, had died in a car accident. Young Clark is 19 years old. He was on his way to a workout for the NBA in Boston when he got into a car accident and died. It's sad. He died at the hospital. And this is sad because, he's young, 19 years old. He had a whole life ahead of him. He's going to the Columbine. He was trying out for the Boston Celtics. It's just sad to hear something like that.
Combine.
My bad. Oh, Combine. Sorry. I've been watching a lot of. Listen, I have been watching a lot of NFL on the NBA, a lot of NFL too. So I'm a sportsman. I'll be everywhere. But it's just sad to see another young man die. It was just an accident, but accidents happen. They say, but that one right there shouldn't have happened. So my condolences go to his family and everybody around him, and Kentucky basketball and John Calipari, because that was a great coach, and I hate to see one of his players go down like that. Cap, just play my theme music, sir. That was a good day.
All right, so we're pretty much at the end. And, in true fashion, we get to the end. We run out of time, so we don't need to talk about everything we got at the end. So the only thing I really want to know is, are you around?
Are you around? Are you around? Are you around? Are you around?
And one of the main things I want to know if you're around for, we'll see if we can get to other things on the list, but the first thing I want to know if you're around for are the Zion ones. Zion Williamson. It was Williamson, right? Zion Williamson. It's funny that I had to ask that because I only ever call him Zion. Like I never even pay attention to his last name. He should just have Zion on the back of his jersey.
He should.
But Zion is coming out with his first signature shoe, the Zion 1 with the Jordan brand. There's about 4 colorways coming out, and they cost 120 beans. Dami G, are you around for the Zion 1s?
No, but I might get them for my son because he loves Zion as a player. No, because he likes Zion as a player.
Okay.
So I might get them.
Okay.
But I'm cool on those.
Why?
Well, I just don't like the whole, his whole design of his shoe it's not appealing to me. I mean, maybe in a little while, maybe give it some time, I'll start to like it. But as of the first few looks, I'm cool.
So you're saying they're UGG?
Basically, to me,
they look better than the Currys. They look better than the Steph Currys, man. I mean,
I'm not wearing them shits either.
I can't.
All right. Well, Webb, I know you probably ain't wore a sneaker in a long time. Boat shoe is the way you live. But
honestly, how you feeling
about the Zion ones?
I'm not around. I think one, I don't like. They look like they belong in like that movie that Shaq was in. That Shaq was in, Shazam. They look like they Kazam or whatever it was. Like they look like Kazam. Like when I saw them, I thought of Kazam and Shaq, and I'm like, nah. They don't look like Nikes or Jordans.
Well, that's the thing. Let's be real, and then we'll get to you, Hugh. But Jordan brand sneakers, if it's not an actual Jordan,
they're trash.
Ain't really, you know what I mean?
Yo. They tried with Melo. They tried with Westbrook. They tried with TP. TP had like he had a decent run. He had like 3 out, but like Melo's
So
just
Melo
like
had a couple runs.
yeah. Melo had a few runs.
So
like
Hugh,
he should have signed with Nike.
He should have. But Hugh, more importantly known as Hirachi Jones, could a Zion 1 make its way into the Hirachi? Like, you know what I mean? Could it sit in the closet with the Hirachis?
Bro, I don't really buy Jordans.
So are you around for the shoe?
I mean, I'm happy for the young man. I gotta see them for myself personally. I don't like watching. I don't like looking at things through the phone. I need to examine the shoe. But
you want to try them? You do.
I do. I kind of do. But I'm not really around for them. I'm not. I'm sorry. If they don't have the numbers, the Jordan numbers, I really don't buy them. But I don't really buy Jordans.
It's really hard these days, I think, to get a good shoe.
And then
it's hard to spend 120 beans on a pair of sneakers.
It's not. Most sneakers nowadays, that's the cheapest you're gonna get some sneakers. But also, it's just like
for real.
Also, it's just like most basketball sneakers nowadays, they're just not appealing to anybody anymore. Like I'm not balling in those
unless it's Nike, because the Kyries are kind of clean.
I like the Kyries. Hell yeah.
Listen,
The LeBrons are clean.
I like
Yep.
the LeBron.
I'm
And
not.
the Paul Georges, I can't afford them, and the Paul Georges are clean too.
Yep.
So I
And
think
the
if you're
KDs.
not Nike, then you're
All
not
right,
worth
You're
it,
I'm gonna tell
trash.
you right. I'm gonna tell you right
Your
now.
sneakers are trash if they're not Nike brand.
basically.
The Paul
Basically.
Georges, they're because I tried them before. They're iffy. They
I
just
don't
look.
know.
Out of all of those, they're the
They
worst.
just look
And
good.
but they're still.
It's just
But they
just
look good.
good.
That, I mean, that's
But
what
your
you.
feet
That's
gonna
what
be
you.
hurting, bro. Like, you know. But
I
I mean, I
mean-
understand. I do, but I don't. I got her.
But at the end of the day, Zion's with Jordan Brand. His sneakers look way better than the Steph Curry threes that look like the Mall Walker fives.
You know what's funny? You say that, and I know people slandered Steph's sneakers a lot because the early ones were really trash. But while I was looking up Zion shoes, I was gonna do a who knew on like what's the second highest NBA signature shoe because we all know Jordan's number one, but I couldn't find that data. But there's a Steph shoe actually popped up that was kind of clean. So there's a Steph shoe out there that doesn't really get highly publicized. That's actually kind of clean. I found one. I did. Maybe it
I
was
would
special
prefer to
colorway.
wear the Kyries that are New Balance. The
You know what?
Kawhis that are New Balance.
I can't. I honestly understand what Cap's saying because you gotta think about over the time the sneakers they are gonna evolve and look better. So I mean, I'll give
The
them
first
some time.
Kobe, bruh, the first Kobe's were super trash. The Space
Right.
Boots.
So so I kind of understand why. Like, I'm not around for this one. Let me see what the Zion 2 is.
Yeah, no. I'm not totally giving up on them. But this is the first one, and I'm
Right.
like, eh.
Because I wasn't
Because
around.
Jason Tatum's shit is ugly too, and he's
Right.
part of Jordan Brand too.
Yeah, and I wasn't. I thought he was
Questions.
with Nike.
So question:
Alright.
He wore them.
Oh, he did. He did resign.
He wore them for the first time on the court, right? Did he dunk on people?
I'm pretty sure he did.
He probably did. So they work. So
Yeah.
shout out to Zion. That's the detrimental power for the day, people. We're gonna get up out of here. Hope y'all enjoyed what we had going to give y'all today. I'm gonna end you off with a quote. I think it's only right that I end off with a DMX quote, considering his homegoing was just his past weekend, and it's a pretty fitting quote, just to kind of how I feel about the Detrimental Podcast. So the quote is, "We each have a star. All we have to do is find it. Once you do, everyone who sees it will be blinded." I need to read it like DMX. Hold on. We all have a star. All we have to do is find it. Once you do, everyone who sees it will be blinded. That's how DMX.
Yeah,
It is.
He would have.
I respect it.
So but no, that's exactly what it is, right? So we want to shout out the listeners and the viewers all over again. We do appreciate the fact that y'all tune in every single week, and we are happy that y'all enjoy the show. And we're looking to continue to climb and be that blinding star to a lot more people. So we appreciate the shares, the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. It's only going to help us get to where we want to be. And I thought it was a pretty fitting quote because we stick to it. Who knows what can happen? I seen another YouTube video that was like, if you really want to know if you're a podcaster, you got to be willing to go a couple years with the views that you don't necessarily think you deserve. You know what I mean? So like, it's gonna be it's a journey. We're already almost at like 30 episodes, and it's a journey, and I'm in it for the long haul as long as I can be, till people kind of recognize our star. You know what I mean? The most blinded by the light. And with that, we out. Webb, tell them what they supposed to do, bro.
Hey, folks.
I already told them, but you tell them more nicer than I do. I'd be kind of disrespectful.
Well, honestly, man, just folks, go on to those platforms, subscribe to the podcast, turn on notifications. That way, every time a new episode comes out on Tuesdays, you get a ping, and then you get to be one of the first to listen to the podcast. Like us on all those platforms and follow us on Instagram. Please DM us. Let us know what's going on. We have a couple folks hitting us up. If you got questions, you got topics, let us know. Hey, you might even have the next great segment of the pod. So hit us up. Peace and love.
Yo, Cap, I got a question, bro. So if the Zion sneakers say, you buy my sneakers, I give you 5 feet off the ground. Help you jump 5
What'd you say?
If the Zion sneakers gave you the ability to jump like 3-4 feet off the ground, you round for them that?
3 feet more than what I got right now?
Yeah, like you got the Zion, bro. Like you out here.
Yeah.
Oh,
If the Zions allow me to dunk on people, I'm around.
Oh, I'm what?
Oh man,
That's all I ever wanted.
Around.
I never got a chance. I never got a chance to wear those. Remember those shoes that people used to wear where they had to walk on their tippy toes?
Strap
Yeah,
shoes.
snake shoes.
Yeah, I always wanted those. My mom knew I didn't have what it took, so she never got them for
My
me.
brother had.
She did.
Oh, she did.
Did he dunk?
Oh yeah. He did. He was banging. I was like, yo, all right, yo, like relax.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I was all natural. Naturally gifted, baby.
Okay, simmer down.
I was, bro.
But it
Nobody
was
cares about your height.
at the time it was a thing. It was a thing though at the time.
You're supposed to be dunking.
Everybody was doing that. And you 6'5", bro. You better be dunking.
I know some 6'5" players again. Though.
If you're not dunking, I'm straight ranking you. Straight up.
6'5".
I'm ranking you because you're not in the league. You're a failure.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey yo.
Hard.
Nah, you idiot. I lashed out because I'm only 5'9". I lashed out because I'm only 5'9". My bad, bro. My
That
bad.
was so
Yeah.
funny, though. That was so hilarious.
Yeah.
I lashed out. I'm only 5'9", bro.
God.
We'll check out next week.
Funny.